In a village nestled near the base of the Great Oyo Mountains, there lived a young woman named Zara. From the moment she was born, she was told she had an uncommon beauty. Her dark, glowing skin, her deep brown eyes that sparkled like the morning dew, and her smile that could light up even the darkest of days. But beauty, they said, is a fleeting gift. As Zara grew older, her obsession with her appearance deepened. She would spend hours each day looking into her small handheld mirror, terrified of the wrinkles that would one day come. Each hair that fell from her head filled her with anxiety. Each blemish that dared to appear on her skin sent her into despair. No matter how much admiration she received from others, it was never enough. She wanted more. She wanted to stay beautiful forever. One day, as she walked through the village, she overheard two old women whispering about a strange visitor, a wandering sorceress known to possess dark magic. It was said that this sorceress could grant eternal youth and beauty to those who dared ask, but the cost was always steep. The whispers piqued Zara's interest, and she couldn't resist finding the sorceress herself. That night, under the cover of darkness, Zara made her way deep into the forest, where the sorceress was said to dwell. The trees seemed to whisper as she walked, the air growing colder with every step. But Zara's determination was stronger than her fear. She finally found the sorceress sitting beside a dying fire, her face hidden beneath a hood. The sorceress looked up as Zara approached, her eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. "I know why you've come," the sorceress said, her voice like the rustling of dead leaves. "You seek eternal beauty." Zara's heart pounded. "Yes," she said, her voice trembling. "I want to stay beautiful forever. I don't want to age like the others." The sorceress studied her for a long moment, then nodded. "I can give you what you desire," she said slowly, "but the price will be your eyes." Zara blinked, confused. "My eyes?" The sorceress nodded. "You will remain as beautiful as you are now, forever. Your skin will never wrinkle, your hair will never thin. But in exchange you will lose your sight. You will never see the beauty you possess, nor the world around you." Zara hesitated. Her eyes were one of her most admired features. Could she really part with them? But then she thought about the years ahead. She imagined herself old, wrinkled, forgotten. No, she couldn't bear that. "I agree," Zara said, her voice firm. The sorceress smiled a crooked smile and reached out a withered hand. "Then we shall make the exchange." Without warning, the sorceress grabbed Zara's face and a blinding light filled the forest. Zara screamed as pain shot through her eyes, but within moments it was over. She collapsed to the ground, gasping for breath. When she opened her eyes, she saw nothing. Darkness. The world around her was gone. But then she touched her face. Her skin was soft, flawless. Her hair thick and strong. Her body felt light and youthful. It had worked. She was eternally beautiful, even if she could no longer see it. For days, Zara returned to the village, stumbling through the streets in her newfound blindness. At first, the villagers were stunned by her radiance. They marveled at how her beauty seemed to grow with each passing day. They whispered in awe, calling her a goddess. Men sought her attention, women envied her perfection. But as the days turned to weeks, something began to change. Zara, unable to see her own reflection, began to lose her sense of self. She could no longer see the admiration in people's eyes, no longer bask in the glow of their compliments. Worse, strange things began to happen around her. At night, Zara would hear soft whispers in her ear, voices she couldn't place. The air around her would grow cold, and shadows seemed to follow her wherever she went. She could no longer see, but she could feel the presence of something dark watching her. One evening, as she sat alone in her room, the voices grew louder. "You traded your sight for beauty," they whispered. "But beauty comes with a price." Zara's heart pounded in her chest. "Who's there?" she cried, but no one answered. From that night on, the whispers never stopped. They followed her wherever she went, growing louder, more insistent. And soon the village began to turn on her. The people no longer admired her beauty. They feared it. They spoke of the sorceress who had cursed her, of the dark magic that clung to her like a shadow. Zara tried to ignore them, but the darkness around her grew stronger. She could feel it pressing in, suffocating her. She could no longer sleep, no longer eat. Her once perfect beauty had become a prison, and she was trapped inside. Desperate, Zara returned to the forest, hoping to find the sorceress once more. She stumbled through the trees, calling out for her, but the sorceress was nowhere to be found. Instead, the whispers surrounded her, louder than ever. You wanted eternal beauty, they hissed. Now you will have it forever. Zara fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. I didn't know, she sobbed. I didn't understand, but the whispers only laughed. You were blind even when you could see. And in that moment Zara realized the truth. She had been so focused on her appearance, on how others saw her, that she had lost sight of what truly mattered. Now she would never see again, not just with her eyes but with her heart. The beauty she had once craved had consumed her, and there was no escape. The villagers said that Zara was never seen again after that night. Some claimed she wandered into the depths of the forest, where the darkness swallowed her whole. Others whispered that she had become part of the forest itself, her beauty trapped within the shadows that now haunted the trees. But those who remembered her knew one thing for certain. Zara had traded more than just her eyes for eternal beauty. She had lost her soul to the darkness, and in doing so she had become blind to the world forever. So beware the path of vanity, for it may lead you to a place from which you can never return. If you enjoyed this tale of greed and beauty, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more dark African folklore and stories filled with magic and mystery.